The military-trained Hulk level being that soloed all your favorite female characters. That's Red Hulk for you. He's the being on first glance. You might think him knocking out a cosmic being is an outlier, which I did think so myself until they actually explained what really happened about how he's kind of like a hack. He can kind of change tiers based on his energy absorption, which you're gonna hear me talk about a lot throughout this video. Because apparently his energy absorption is so absurd, he can jump tiers and hurt beings or even win against beings he shouldn't technically be able to win against. They even explain it. So it's not really an outlier when they actually explain the context for it. It's meant for him to be able to do this ridiculously impossible stuff. It's definitely one of those situations. I wouldn't say he's always just in his base strength level. I wouldn't say he's always at the Watcher levels. Yeah, but Watchers are beings that can affect infinite planes of realities and stuff as collateral of their fights. Like, that's the kind of stuff, like higher dimensional type being type stuff. Red Hulk can change tiers to such a degree to where beings that are consistently stated to have the power to rival Galactus himself. Red Hulk can jump to such a power level to where these same beings, yep, stated here again, are compared to Celestials and stuff. He can hammer them into the dirt if his energy absorption allows him in that particular comic issue. And the amount of universes Watchers can affect, Red Hulk knocking them out is kind of crazy. Red Hulk. You're used to the famous Green Hulk, but what about other colors, like red? Yes, it may seem true that the Hulk family kind of seems oversaturated nowadays, but every Hulk seems to have their different perks that makes them unique. Like, other than the stuff we're used to when it comes to Hulk beings having, you know, the human form and then like have a gamma mode, a Hulkish mode, you know, that's normal Hulk stuff. But Red Hulk seems to have like a heat theme. Like, when it comes to Green Hulk, you're probably used to the madder the Hulk gets, the stronger the Hulk gets. Well, Red Hulk has a similar theme of the madder this Hulk gets, the hotter he gets. Heat. Like, other than that, he has a lot of similarities to the normal Hulk family members when it comes to the rage. His gamma radiation emission changes in proportion with his rage. Like, it's everywhere in his lore about him getting madder the hotter he gets. He's basically the living embodiment of, you give a military character Hulkish type strength, this is Red Hulk for you, Thunderbolt Rawls. And another thing that makes him scary, similar to the, you know, main Green Hulk, in the Red Hulk's own way, one could say Red Hulk can jump tiers like Green Hulk, not in the same circumstances, but in a different way. Like, Green Hulk can jump tiers with rage, get stronger than he usually would with enough rage, start glowing green, become World Breaker looking like this. This is where you don't want to fight him. Like, let's say Red Hulk can kind of do something similar to this, but in a different method, not with rage, but in another way known as energy absorption, even stated in this handbook, whether it's cosmic energy or gamma radiation. With all this energy absorption and like rage making him hotter and stuff, one could say he's like a full-blown energy projector. He can drain gamma radiation from others and fire heat blasts from his eyes. So in a way, you can say he's an energy manipulator. This energy absorption ability is kind of hacksy. One could argue this could kind of make you think that Red Hulk can jump tiers based on who the character is and how much energy absorbs. That's the reason why he can harm Skyfather tier beings that he technically shouldn't be able to, like Watcher tier beings or beings that are higher than Skyfather or higher, abstract level beings like Watchers, is because of his ability to absorb cosmic or siphon cosmic energy, allowing him to exceed his normal limits. This is something that you would consider an outlier, but they gave narrative and writer intent on why he was able to actually do this to Watchers, even though he shouldn't be able to. Because moments like this, many called this an outlier and said it didn't make sense. I was kind of agreeing that, yeah, this doesn't really make sense, but due to his narrative and him being hacksy, he can change tiers based on the energy absorbed. And they kind of implied that with this occasion with the Watcher. That's why I'm saying Red Hulk is dangerous. The rate in which he can absorb energy to depower gamma mutates is kind of scary to the point where it happens fast to where he can actually change them to human mode. Like he did at the gamma mutates like the leader. He's even done it to the Hulk himself, draining the Hulk in the middle of their fight. Even so bad where Green Hulk gets depowered and turns into normal mode because of Red Hulk being in the vicinity. In this occasion, he drained Hulk so bad. Like, it's almost like he doesn't even need his super strength, even though he has a lot of that too. They say he'll never turn into the Hulk again here. He drained him that much, apparently. I haven't even really got on his muscle strength, but he's already got feats of taking down some of our favorites with just him just absorbing energy, guys. Changing tiers, upgrading his current tier, and powering himself up. However, I do admit, though, he doesn't keep these cosmic powers long, and Galactus ends up taking the power back, but still, it's still impressive he's able to even steal this power this fast. What is he, Super Android 17 from Dragon Ball GT, absorbing energy, blast, and just, like, not even flinching? Solid sound he can turn into a frequency he can absorb, you know, when Claw was in his sound mode. See, this is what makes Red Hulk dangerous when it comes to changing tiers via energy absorption. He seems to be the energy absorber of the Gamma family members. Even though Hulk can absorb energy too, like the main Green Hulk can, can too. This seems to be something Red Hulk specializes in. So in this video, don't be surprised if you see me bring up cosmic beings. There's a reason. Red Hulk's one of the beings that he can hang or do serious damage to cosmic beings via his energy absorption hacks or whatever. It's even talked about, like Green Hulk even talks about him when it comes to absorbing radiation. With his ability to absorb radiation and get stronger, he will be unstoppable. So it talks about his potential. The Hulk is calling Red Hulk unstoppable. So it lets you know how dangerous Red Hulk can be, because he can change tiers by absorbing radiation and get stronger. We're talking about one of the strongest gamma mutates of all time that can literally get stronger depending on his opponent's radiation he's giving off. So this is scary. He's a Hulk being that in his lore, he's a weapons specialist. Even stated here about the weapons and certain weapons he holds. Even as a Hulk being, he holds different handguns. Like, imagine a Hulk pulling out a gun and shooting beings. Super soldier tiers are beings that are used to fighting without powers. Beings like Punisher is ridiculously strong for a human or whatever in Marvel Universe. I'm just giving you a good example of how good General Ross can fight. We literally seen him box it out with Punisher while depowered when he's not transformed in this Hulk mode. So that shows he is an actual skilled fighter, despite him being a Hulkish type being. Like, this guy can fight. With Punisher, this long panel in Slugfest. In the middle of fights, he will improvise and use your weapons against you. While he's in his powered up Hulk state, he will still use battle IQ with his strength. Everybody knows his most famous example of battle IQ, where he was able to grab Mjolnir because Thor was technically hanging on to it. Even though he's not worthy, he was able to kind of drag them into space where there was no gravity and use Thor's hammer against Thor in space because there's zero gravity. This is what you would call battle IQ. Like, look how he uses fighting IQ in the middle of battle, like putting the Hulk in the headlock, for example, because of his military training. See, the story about Red Hulk is very interesting on how he even became a Hulk in the first place. For many years, he was an adversary for the main Hulk, Bruce Banner, and was obsessed with protecting the United States, but he secretly wanted that power. You know how he had a daughter that loved Bruce. Throughout these adventures, Betty ended up getting fatal radiation poison by the Abomination. You know, he got entangled with smart people, beings that are ridiculously smart from the intelligentsia, like beings like the leader, a gamma mutate that's as smart as the Hulk is strong, Stearns, and beings like MODOK. They use their smartness to siphon off the main Hulk's power to transfer it into others. Blah, blah, blah. They ended up making a weapon to funnel the Hulk's power into Ross via this ray. And that's when he was transforming into his red-skinned Hulk. Yeah, these satellites that you thought beat World War Hulk, they were siphoning off the Hulk's energy during the World War Hulk event, collecting his energy for a different location. You can't put all this energy in the hands of smart people like Leader and MODOK and such. It's only a matter of time before they help a being become another Hulk, and that's how Red Hulk came to be. You see what I mean? Pretty straightforward and simple, right? I've already mentioned his heat. Along with being one of the physically strongest in the universe now, he's ridiculously hard to injure, but if you do miraculously hurt him, he can regenerate from serious energy within minutes. He can heal really fast. Like, you're going to see plenty of evidence of his durability in this video, but yeah, he's bulletproof, obviously, as a bare minimum. But if you miraculously do cut him, like this, for example, especially if it's a surface flesh wound, like you can see the cut in the next panel, like, where did it go? Like, even when weapons pierce all the way through him, you would think this would be fatal. Nope, it's simply not. You know how Wolverine can cut anybody, even Hulk tears. Yeah, he got his eyes sliced by Wolverine. And he was kind of blind for a little bit, but this didn't last forever, or last long really, because his speed healed, he eventually was able to get his sight back. Since Red Hulk is technically a gamma mutate based on the new lore, thanks to the Immortal Hulk saga, it's pretty much talked about how gamma is magical and scientific. So technically, just like how the new lore about Immortal Hulk, they talk about how the different gamma mutates, Hulk included, are like emanations of the one below all and such. I guess this should technically apply for Red Hulk because he himself is technically also a gamma mutate. They even talk about gamma beings being like a magic spell. This is implied all gamma mutates, not just the Green Hulk. They can access this green door to literally self-resurrect, one could say. When it comes to stabbing him, be careful because his blood would actually melt the weapon you stab him with. Things that are supposed to be invisible, Red Hulk can see, like literal ghosts. That's like something the Hulk can see too, like astral projection type stuff too. So one could say like Hulk level beings, Ross included, has super senses in this case, astral projections, like Doctor Strange's astral projections he can see. And sometimes I feel bad for T-Rexes trying to bite through his skin. That's just not gonna cut it. But how strong is Red Hulk when it comes to his muscle? Cars and tornadoes, he can grab them out of it. There's some times when he's not even hulked up, but he can tap into his Hulkish strength in human mode to open like bigger doors and grab. Even if you're large with wings, he will rip them. He treats metal doors like paper. I kind of feel bad for all these beings with battle suits because strength in numbers seems to not be a thing. He's out here wrapping men up with actual cars. We've seen him lift all kinds of trucks or just cars above his head with his muscle strength. Two-handed, one-handed, it doesn't seem to matter. He can toss and smash jets on you. I mean, look how he slings this jet. He can carry all these beings on his back at the same time and sling a water tower. How much do you think all this machinery weighs? And there's different boulders we've seen him lift. Like this one looks pretty large. This one had to weigh over 20 tons. If we're being all the way honest, when we compare the Red Hulk to like Spider-Man tiers, he can probably fight an army of Spider-Man or symbiote tiers and they wouldn't be able to take him on. Like that's the strength gap we're talking about. Like I'm talking about multiple clones of Spider tiers cannot hold him down. Like he's just in a whole nother tier of strength. Yeah, let me stop sugarcoating everything. Yeah, him matching strength and muscle with the main Green Hulk. Like, he literally broke the Green Hulk's arm here to prove that he's up there with the main Green Hulk and raw muscle, at least in these basis type strength before Worldbreaker and stuff. We see him literally put Red Hulk in a bear hug. And when it comes to muscle, we see Red Hulk literally overpower his muscles and get out of the bear hug. You guys already know the famous strength feats of the Green Hulk. He can lift 150 billion tons. Green Hulk did this. Red Hulk literally overpowered his muscle here. So, of course, Red Hulk has similar strength. He should be able to do this by default. This is totally believable that Red Hulk can lift 150 billion tons just like the Green Hulk. He overpowered his muscle, so he should be able to do this too, right? Red Hulk is overpowering the Green Hulk, a being that has stated in the past to be able to juggle the 5 outer planets, all the heavier planets in the solar system. This Hulk level being can lift, matching the Green Hulk's muscle strength. What do you think that means for Red Hulk? Meaning that he can not only lift up mountains, this is just a joke in comparison, really. Planetoids like the moon, which is smaller than the Earth, Red Hulk should have no problem lifting up this kind of weight or mass. Technically, Red Hulk shouldn't have no problem supporting the weight of planetoids like the Earth itself. Same with planets that make the Earth look like a joke like Jupiter. This also should apply for Red Hulk's muscle strength to be able to support the weight of such large celestial bodies when it comes to the planets, the outer planets of our solar system. If he can match Green Hulk, he should be able to support the weight of multiple planets in our solar system all at the same time, technically. We also got to remember that the Hulk was able to support the weight of an actual star on his back without him falling flat on his face. And guess how big the sun is compared to the largest planets in our solar system. Look at this visual perspective on how big a sun is compared to Jupiter and stuff. So that gives you perspective on what the Hulk technically would have to support the weight of, and Red Hulk overpowered the muscle of this same being. So yeah, Red Hulk has to be somewhere in his ballpark too by default. The Green Hulk was trying to contain him and Red Hulk was able to overpower this same muscle that could support the weight of a freaking star. Let that sink in. This would imply that Red Hulk can not only support the weight of Earth, but like literally hundreds of thousands of Earths. Basically implying that lifting planets is not even really nothing, if we're being honest. If he can support the weight of a sun like the Green Hulk can, which we know he can match the Green Hulk's muscle. I shouldn't have to show more evidence, but yeah, he's always matching gamma mutates like, you know, She-Hulk, for example, pinning her against the wall with his raw muscle to the point where she couldn't move and she ends up blacking out, and it even would argue have almost killed her. Yeah, she was really drowsy. We've seen him kind of manhandle other Hulks like Red She-Hulk, swinging around A-Bomb, even other hulked out heroes. Like, just because you're a hero that has hulked outness about you doesn't guarantee that you're on his level of strength. Hulked out Spider-Man and Wolverine. We've seen him toss them. He can toss other heavy gamma members like baseballs. They call it the fastball special. I mean, as a bare minimum, I've already showed you at least him being able to support the weight of planets or even a star's weight on his back so far. So imagine how hard he can hit, the weight behind his hits. You know them punches gotta feel like crazy. There's plenty of examples that show off the weight of his punches or his hits, like hitting beings over the clouds. I mean, is this really a shock when I showed you proof that he pretty much can support the weight of planets and stuff based on his occasions with Hulk and stuff with his muscle? Is it really surprising that he can take on rock monsters that are this large and punch them apart with the weight of his hits? Is that really shocking? He looks strong, but he's strong in what he looks. It would be ridiculous if he couldn't smash through concrete. The weight of his swings can mess up this giant bug. Hitting other gamma mutates, is it shocking that he can hit them through brick? The weight of his swings melts Wolverine's face. There's moments like this where he hits Hulk through a bridge. This proves he can easily level buildings with laughable ease. Even beings that give Hulk a competition, like Abomination in this, special flashback, of course, you couldn't tell who this was, but this was Red Hulk, of course. He gave him the business because of the weight of his punches. There was this comet heading towards him. Of course, Red Hulk can bust up huge structures like this. It's proof that he can shake the block to its very core. Like, Red Hulk has no problem hitting the ground hard enough to make his own earthquakes or shockwaves. Heck, the guy can smack his hands hard enough to make a shockwave strong enough to stop a tornado and break it apart. This is basically Hulk's counter to beings that can fly or beings that want to keep their distance. He can hit from far range too. We've seen him hit and do all this damage to like this city street and crap. He can make a shockwave to hit you out of your mist form. or just straight up cause an avalanche. We've seen him clash muscles with A-Bomb, fighting another Gamma Mutate being. We actually got measurements on the bare minimum power he was putting out when it comes to how hard he can hit. The earthquake levels was measured in 8.09. Yeah, he's causing all this destruction. For those that don't know, a magnitude 10 earthquakes don't exist in real life. So he's producing something stronger than anything we've had to deal with in real life when it comes to earthquakes. Power way scarier than nuclear bombs with his punches. Yeah, Red Hulk is just casually producing punches that are heavier than thousands and thousands of the strongest nuclear bombs to ever exist, producing magnitude 10 earthquakes, guys. Saying his punches would blow away a city is an understatement of the year and a complete oversimplification. It will blow away several cities with ease, the weight of his hits. In this occasion, fighting the Green Hulk, their hits were so heavy, people was feeling it in different cities, from New York all the way to Chicago, all the way to Arizona. You don't even have to know math that well to know that if you can make an earthquake that can be felt in New York, Chicago, and Arizona all at the same time, that's more powerful than any earthquake we've ever had to experience, and Red Hulk is producing this type of stuff. Him and Green Hulk slugfesting each other. The weight of Red Hulk's hits can be felt deep below the surface of the earth in Mole Man's kingdom, all the way from the eastern seaboard, all across the country. Let's just say it, the weight of his hits can shake the United States. Is this really shocking if he can support the weight of planets and stuff? Based on the beings he's constantly fighting, he's a Hulk level being. I don't see no reason why he wouldn't be an Earth destructive type being. I mean, we've seen his punches actually knock out versions of Hulk that are above the Grey Hulk persona. You know how Grey Hulk's like a weaker persona and Green Hulk is stronger in base. We've seen him actually knock out. We've seen both of these beings knock each other out. And we know what weaker Hulks can do when it comes to how hard they can hit. Like weaker Hulks that are not even that mad, aka not really using his strength increase factor like that really. His punches were still strong enough to shatter something that's 2 times the size of Earth with a single punch. Like this is just small stuff that Hulk level beings can do. Even Grey Hulk that's relaxed can do this. Red Hulk can punch and knock out Hulks that are even higher levels than those ones, higher than the Grey Hulk persona. You see what I mean? It would be weird if Red Hulk couldn't do catastrophic damage to planetoids like Earth and stuff, or stuff bigger than Earth. You know what I mean? That should be like a no-brainer. Like, we've seen him get in long, drawn-out fights with Green Hulk, like Doc Green. And remember how I brought up earlier about how Green Hulk can support the weight of a star? Yeah, he's punching this Hulk in the face and doing damage to a being that can support the weight of a star on his back. Like, that's a durability feat. Like, he's punching a being that can support that weight, that kind of weight, and making him gush blood. Yeah, we know how big the sun is compared to different planets. Yeah, Red Hulk can hurt beings that can withstand the pressure of the weight of a star on their back and such. He can just hit hard. And when it comes to Red Hulk fist fighting some of the other heavy hitters like Iron Man, we've seen him punch and damage his mask. You know how Punisher got his own Iron Man suit? Yeah, it doesn't go well when it comes to Red Hulk fighting that type of stuff either. The weight of his hits is just too potent, taking this battle suit to the scrap heap. We've seen him low-key scuffle with like multiple heavy hitters like Thunderbolt, She-Hulk, and even Valkyrie all at the same time. Even symbiote tears obviously get launched. We've seen him fist fight with Eternals like Icar, Riss. The being that has similar genetics to Thanos, the Eternal type beings. Yep, his durability and resilience holds up to beings like Icarus like this. Sasquatch, get back. You don't know him like that. Another clear evidence of how strong Red Hulk would have to be is powerhouses like the Sentry, who a big part of the Sentry's narrative is this quote, having the power of 1 million exploding suns. You can get an idea of a bare minimum how strong Red Hulk would have to be somewhere in his ballpark. Matter of fact, to make it even worse, he's not only getting hit by Sentry, he's getting hit by Sentry and Wonder Man and staying good afterwards. To the point where they thought they had the advantage over him, and he pushes all these beings off him at the same time, like fighting multiple powerhouses. Like, this is not just a one occasion. Like, it's pretty clear that he's somewhere in that ballpark. Literally got blasted by Sentry. Looks like he either absorbed it or just ate the concussive force of it, punching Sentry back. And I see discomfort in Sentry's face. Look how far he sent Sentry flying with the weight of his hits. One exploding sun is one thing, but times 1 million? That's a whole nother ballpark of power. He's fighting Sentry and Wonder Man and other beings that are powerhouse tier 2. It's not just a one-on-one thing. That's just crazy. He got to be somewhere in that ballpark. Slugfesting and hitting back beings that have literally the 1 power of 1 million supernova, pretty much combined. An explosion that's equivalent to 1 million supernova explosions of stars and such. It just gets crazy. It's a big part of Sentry's lore to having the raw power output of a 1 million exploding suns. That's why Red Hulk kind of punching him back, eating his attacks is so impressive. Yeah, that's a lot of stars exploding in your face that Red Hulk has to deal with that kind of pressure and counter it with his fist, the weight of his hits. You know what I mean? And we're not going to get on the fact of what would happen if Red Hulk got like indestructible weapons. Like, that's not even fair at this point. Like, I'm talking about Herald of Galactus level beings like Terrax getting their weapon used by Red Hulk. Yeah, he would just do this to your head. I don't want to stay on him using actual overpowered weapons too long with all his raw muscle. That's just not even fair. Let's talk about how he had to fight a Colossus and Juggernaut fusion and still did decent. There was even moments where it implied that he was hurting him. Like, this is actually impressive. Thor-centric type beings. Red Hulk has a good reputation battling beings in this level of power, like Beta Ray Bill. You know, Beta Ray Bill and Thor-centric beings have like a history of shaking the universe itself to its very core. Like, I'm talking about the entire universe, shaking the firmament of the universe type of stuff. Like, that's Beta Ray Bill. That's the type of stuff he has to endure, withstand, blah, 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 hit with force equivalent of, withstand and dish out that similar force. You know, even on Marvel.com, when they talk about these same comics, they even mention the universe shaking and stuff. So they're not just saying stuff out the butthole. They're really meaning it. And these are the type of beings Red Hulk has to fight and slugfest with, like gods like this, godlike beings. You see, he's a powerhouse in Marvel, just like Beta Ray Bill and them. You see, the powerhouses in Marvel are beings that can shake the universe to its very core with their hits. You know, Red Hulk has to compete with these beings. It's obvious that the weight of Red Hulk's hits can actually damage Thor. It's kind of similar to the Beta Ray Bill stuff. Like, you know, Thor's in the Beta Ray Bill tier. They both can shake the universe. Because of a technicality, Red Hulk kind of got the advantage over Thor here with his own hammer because of no gravity in space. So no worthy crap. There's no worthiness enchantment worries. Kind of made Thor drowsy. Thor didn't seem to stay knocked out long, though. Do I have to bring up other stuff like different Thors clashing with each other? They can make shockwaves that can be loosed across all planes of reality at the same time, just from them clashing hammer blows. Shockwaves that travel across the cosmos through the whole universe. Like, I'm talking about blows that are compared to the Big Bang. Like, yeah, Thor-ish type characters can do this kind of stuff. Shaking the universe, Big Bang levels of force. So there's clear narrative and writer intent that Red Hulk and just straight slugfest with Thor-centric type beings. He can hit hard enough to be in these beings' tier or level. Red Hulk has a Big Bang-like hits. You see what I mean? Being able to compete with Thor-centric type beings in their base. One of Red Hulk's craziest feats of all time is literally punching Grandmaster, an Elder of the Universe. Tell me this guy can't jump tiers or not. But don't mess with these Helllord beings. There's beings like Blackheart that can actually shatter Ghost Rider's chains and actually get a W on Jane. Thor, the weight of his swings can affect beings like this top tier. Like, I don't want to say Red Hulk's up there with Phoenix Force beings, but he did kind of do some damage to beings that had 1/5 the power of the Phoenix Force, but that's none of my business. And we know the Phoenix can easily destroy universes or even more than one multiverse if we're being honest about the Phoenix Force. I brought this up earlier, but I'm bringing it up again. He can change tiers. Normally, I wouldn't say he's on the Watcher's tier, but thanks to hacks and certain ways, he can kind of change tier to increase his power level by absorbing certain things and actually mess up Watcher tier beings. I guess this is Marvel's way of explaining how he was able to do this, and they're explaining how he was able to do this to an actual Watcher, because this is actually ridiculous considering Uatu is a ridiculously powerful Watcher, and his punches have so much weight behind them, he was able to do this to a freaking Watcher. I mean, there's even comments where they compare the Watcher power to Galactus. And that's not just a one-time thing when they compare the Watcher to Galactus, because it's stated here that he's a formidable foe that power rivals that of Galactus himself. The Watchers in general, when it comes to the lore, every time Galactus is brought up, Watchers are always brought up in the conversation. Even Celestials are being brought up in the conversation, comparing the Watchers to Galactus and such. I mean, think about it. When it comes to the Watchers, every time you see abstracts pop up in a group, guess who's always in the group with them? A Watcher. You see what I mean? Like, it kind of lets you know the hierarchy. When the cosmic beings pop up, you know, they always want to kind of be chilling. They kind of be chilling together. Like, Watcher be with them a lot. Matter of fact, when two Watchers have battled in the past, simultaneously battering from 1,000 different planes of reality, like, that's how they narrated, like, universes, like infinite universes are being affected. A savage war is concurrently waged across the infinite rivers of reality. Like, that's the kind of craziness these beings, these Watchers do. Like, when I say the Red Hulk can change tiers, I mean he can change tiers. Like, these Watchers be on some higher dimensional stuff, like 12th dimensional type stuff. And Red Hulk did this, like, how? Like, an abstract tier feat that makes Skyfighters look like a joke, technically, if you want to be honest. Like, this feat is kind of ridiculous. I mean, he knocked out a being that can withstand attacks that can be fought across infinite rivers of reality and stuff. Like, it just gets nasty ridiculous. Red Hulk can jump tiers like that. Him absorbing energy and siphoning off the power of these powerful cosmic entities, higher dimensional beings, that's kind of scary. All this strength I've already talked about in this video, and guess what? Beings consider him too fast with all this strength. Beings that have superhuman reflexes consider him too fast. Let that sink in. Matter of fact, when it was analyzing him, they consider him faster than Abomination in combat speed. Valkyrie threw her sword at him, he dodged it. Spider-Girl couldn't really react to him. Spider-Man is a being that basically has a precognition, basically can react before you even have a chance to even lift a finger because he knows what you're about to do before you do it. Even he has problems reacting in time to Red Hulk. And we know Captain Marvel, the female, is faster than the speed of light. She tries to blitz him. Nope, he reacts. Matter of fact, in She-Hulk's opinion, she believes he's faster than the Hulk ever was. Yeah, this big old behemoth can throw punches like this. That's scary to think about. How strong do you think Red Hulk is? But do you guys respect Red Hulk? I would hope so. He's pretty freaking strong. Similar to other Gamma family members, he's a force to be reckoned with. Can change tiers depending on the circumstances, what the writers want to do to him, depending on where they want to take the plot. Red Hulk is just scary. Yeah, if you have tons of energy, he might actually absorb it, so it might be useless against him. Yeah. Even if you're higher dimensional, he can absorb that energy too and bridge the gap and even hang with you, even if you're 12th dimensional, apparently. He's even strong enough to lift the like button up, so you should definitely smash the video for me. It would really help out a lot, guys. Hit that like button right fast and respect Red Hulk. And thanks for the donations, everybody. Red Hulk is scary strong. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.